everybody, it's JT Sports. I'm back to you guys with another video. This video I'm here with my Cincinnati Bengals versus the Baltimore Ravens NFL preview and prediction. I'm going to be previewing this matchup and get my prediction of who will win this game in this Week 6 matchup. So in this matchup, we had the Cincinnati Bengals on the road at Baltimore. The Cincinnati Bengals coming off of a very disappointing loss versus the Arizona Cardinals. And the Baltimore Ravens are coming off of a very close game versus the Pittsburgh Steelers, which was mainly dominated by the referees. But Baltimore was able to pull off the win. Now, for the Cincinnati Bengals, this team has yet to win a game. I'm not surprised. I told everybody in the offseason that this was not going to end up being a good team. And of course, Cincinnati Bengals fans said I didn't know anything about football, called me an idiot, blah, blah, blah. But listen, when you lose two of your starting offensive linemen, one to retirement, the other got placed on IR, your offensive line is not going to be that good. I mean, you had two starters on your offensive line retired. That's going to have a big impact. And we're starting to see that because Cincinnati cannot run the football. It's injuries at the halfback position and the offensive line is another reason why they can't run the football. I mean, if you can't run the football in the NFL and you got Andy Dalton as your quarterback, you're not going to win a lot of games. They're too one-dimensional. They cannot really run the football. I mean, Cincinnati is 31st in rushing yards per game. They're averaging 3.3 yards per carry, which is one of the lowest in the NFL. That's literally the third worst running average in the NFL. This offensive line is not good. Let's not also get on the fact that Andy Dalton has been sacked 20 times this year. That's fourth worst in the NFL. This is not a good Cincinnati Bengals team, ladies and gentlemen. And I mean, I know Cincinnati Bengals fans were upset, but this team is not good. Now, could they win this game versus Baltimore? Yes, they can. Because Baltimore has been a little bit Lamar Jackson in his last two games has turned the ball over 5 times in the last 2 games. Now, I don't think he's regressing. I think he's getting better. But, I mean, this is a Baltimore Ravens team that can be beaten. They have a lot of flaws. The secondary has not played that good. They got carved up by the Kansas City Chiefs a couple of weeks ago. Mason Rudolph had a pretty solid game before he ended up getting knocked out by Earl Thomas. So, I mean, this is a Baltimore Ravens team that has weaknesses. And Cincinnati could win this game. Nobody should rule that out. Baltimore Ravens fans shouldn't look at this game as another W in the win column because Cincinnati could win this game. They really can because Baltimore has not been that impressive the last couple of weeks. Let's not forget a couple of weeks ago they got shellacked by Cleveland. They got shellacked. And this is a Cleveland Browns team that got smacked around by the San Francisco 49ers. Literally, they got smacked around the whole entire field. And Baltimore struggled to beat a Pittsburgh Steelers team. With me being a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, this has to be the worst Pittsburgh Steelers team I have seen in all my years being on this earth. I was born in 2002. It's 2019 now, and I've never seen this bad of a Pittsburgh Steelers team in my whole entire life. A team that cannot close out games. So, I mean, this is a Baltimore Ravens team that if they were to lose this game to the Cincinnati Bengals, I wouldn't be surprised. If Cincinnati was to win this game, I wouldn't be surprised. If Baltimore was to win this game, I wouldn't be surprised. So, getting into my keys to victory, what each of these teams is doing never have a chance to win this game. For the Cincinnati Bengals, you had to protect Andy Dalton. I already got into it earlier in this video. He's been sacked 20 times in the NFL, which is 4th most in the NFL. Okay? He's not good. Andy Dalton has been very good this year. Very good, right? Now, Cincinnati Bengals fans, they're going to be like, oh, he's average, blah, blah, blah. We should start Ryan Finley. Listen, Andy Dalton under Zach Taylor is on pace to set career highs in passing yards and passing touchdowns. Okay, so don't give me that crap about Andy Dalton. The offensive line has to play better. And if Cincinnati wants to win this game, they have to protect Andy Dalton. You cannot let Andy Dalton sit back there and get thrown around like a rag doll. He's going to get injured and he's going to get banged up. And we saw this last year. He got injured. He was on pace. He was having a very good season last season before he got injured. So Andy Dalton isn't a big reason for the Cincinnati Bengals struggles. I think he's been very good this year. I think he's been very improved. I think this is probably the best version of Andy Dalton that we've seen in a very long time since Andy Dalton was in the NFL. Next thing Cincinnati has to do is they have to get the run game going. It doesn't matter if it's Joe Mixon. It doesn't matter whoever's back there at halfback. They have to get the run game going. They're 31st in the NFL in rushing yards per game. They're only rushing for 3.3 yards per carry, which is one of the worst in the NFL. So, I mean, they have to find some way to get the run game going. They have to. They have to do something. I mean, you can run with Andy Dalton. I mean, do something like zone reads. Do something. Zach Taylor has to find a way to get this run game going. Because you're not going to win a lot of games in the NFL throwing the football a lot. You have to have somewhat of a run game. That's the same reason why the Arizona Cardinals are struggling. Because they're not able to really run the football effectively. And Cincinnati cannot run the football effectively. They're averaging 3.3 yards per carry, for crying out loud. 3.3. That's one of the worst yards per carry average for a team in the NFL. Only a couple of teams have a lower yards per carry rating. Can't really name them off the top of my head. But I mean, Cincinnati's offensive line has to do better. And I mean, they have to get this run game going. Especially against a Baltimore Ravens team, which their strength is stopping the pass. So, I mean, Andy Dalton, I mean, you don't want this dude sitting back here passing the ball for 40 times against this Baltimore Ravens defense that on paper should be very good stopping the pass. Now let's get to the Baltimore Ravens. What they have to do to win this game is Lamar has to limit the turnovers. Lamar Jackson has been an absolute turnover machine the last couple of games since Kansas City. I mean, this dude has 5 turnovers the last couple of games that Baltimore has been in. So, I mean, this dude has to do a better job taking care of the football. I love Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is one of my favorite players in the NFL. He's actually my 3rd favorite player in the NFL. Or my favorite, it depends. It's a tie between Josh Gordon, Jameis Winston, Lamar Jackson. But I love Lamar Jackson. This comes from a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. He's been very good. Very good, but he has to take care of the football. He's starting to get a little bit too loose with the football. And he has to take care of the football because eventually, when Baltimore has to play a team like the New England Patriots, those turnovers are going to bite you in the butt. So, Lamar Jackson has to take care of the football. That's football 101. A thing to do, the reason you win games in the NFL is scoring more points to the other team and not giving the other team the ball. That's football 101. You can't give the other team extra possessions. So, I mean, Baltimore has to be able to limit the turnovers with Lamar Jackson. He needs to be a little bit more careful with the ball. The last thing Baltimore needs to do is they need to get pressure on Andy Dalton. Like I said, this offensive line is not good. He's been sacked 20 times so far this year. And only in 6 weeks he's been sacked 20 times in like 6 weeks. 5 weeks they've been playing, which is 4th in the NFL in sacks allowed. So this offensive line is not good. And Baltimore needs to get a lot of pressure on Andy Dalton if they want to be able to win this game. You don't want to let Andy Dalton sit back there and carve up your defense because Andy Dalton has improved a lot this season. And I mean, he's a dude, if you give him time, he's going to make you pay. So the Baltimore Ravens have to be able to get pressure on Andy Dalton if they want to be able to win this game. So the team that I'm going with to win this game, I'm going with the Baltimore Ravens. The Cincinnati Bengals, no offense to Cincinnati Bengals fans, but I mean, this just isn't a good team. It just isn't. I mean, you can't use it. I mean, you guys, John Ross got injured. You had the injuries and all that, but the offensive line isn't that good. The defense hasn't really been that good neither. So, I mean, this is a Cincinnati Bengals team that just isn't good. Try to tell everybody in the offseason, and I mean, I think this is going to be another loss for the Cincinnati Bengals. I mean, Baltimore is at home. Although Baltimore hasn't really played as good as they should have been playing the last couple of weeks, this is still a pretty good football team overall, and I do think the Baltimore Ravens will be able to win this game versus the Cincinnati Bengals. I think Baltimore wins this game 31-14 is my final score prediction, and that's it for this video. So let me know who you guys think is going to win this matchup down in the comment section down below. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more NFL videos and content, and thanks for watching.